Ring is the thing, and he's got 6 of them. And we're not going to argue about their statistics. And the reality is that great run they had in New England, they've not been able to reduplicate in Foxborough since Tom Brady exited. So even though Belichick might be brilliant and might be bombastic, the reality is that quarterback is a massive difference maker. And look what he's done in Tampa Bay in a short period of time. Now, there's lots of new things. He does have his wide receiver group back. He does not have Gronkowski back, but Chris Godwin, who developed into a real star, is back. They've got 3 wide receivers. They got a couple of heavy-duty running backs led by Leonard Fournette. Defensively, it's a pretty good football team. And now they got a different leader. And this bears watching. I like Todd Bowles. I think Todd Bowles did a good job in a bad situation with the New York Jets. Now has resurrected his career. He was handpicked by Bruce Arians to be the replacement when Arians said, no mas, I'm leaving the NFL to go into administration. So I think it'll be interesting to see if they can continue to run and be successful a Todd Bowles offense, because it's not Bruce Arians' offense, but it is, to a degree, it's Tom Brady's offense. So I think they're going to run away with it. The other teams in the division, you got New Orleans and you got Carolina with quarterback situations. There is no Sean Payton in New Orleans. That bears watching, because the guy they hired to replace Sean Payton, Dennis Allen, has not had a history of success as a head coach. I was really surprised they stayed in-house and they elevated him to head coach, because he was a coach for the Raiders and they were bleeping miserable. So I was a little bit surprised with that hire, but they do have Michael Thomas finally healthy. They got Alvin Kamara finally healthy. They've got good support guys at wide receiver, second, third, and fourth guys. Rock solid offensive line. Pretty good defense. That's the one thing that Dennis Allen excels at is X's and O's and ABCs at playing defense the right way. Jameis Winston is the quarterback. Now, I will say this under Sean Payton. He put his thumb down on Jameis Winston. Winston was an ex-Tampa Bay guy. And you knew a couple things about Jameis Winston in Tampa Bay. He would throw for a pile of yards. He would throw touchdowns. And he would turn that sucker over a lot. Fumbles and sacks and picks. His turnover ratio is just staggering. Now, he did well under Sean Payton because Payton put him under his thumb. We're going to run it, and you're going to read it, and this is how you're going to make the play, and you're not going to do what you used to do. And he didn't. And then he got hurt, had a bad knee injury last season. So it is Jameis Winston's team. Carolina's got Baker Mayfield at quarterback, and he's on a mission. He needs to prove something after what happened in Cleveland, or the way he was treated in Cleveland, or the way he was perceived in Cleveland. I think Baker Mayfield is going to be the difference maker for them. He'll help them win a pile of games. Now, that being said, please tell me in society if you can name any other players aside from Baker Mayfield, Christian McCaffrey, and DJ Moore on the Carolina roster, because I bet you can't.
Right.
I don't think they have a lot of names. I don't think they have a lot of stars, and I think that becomes the problem as we go through the course of the season. But it'll be fascinating because this is a contract drive year for Baker Mayfield, so that really bears watching. And, then we, look at the rest of the division. You got Atlanta, life after Matt Ryan. Marcus Mariota will start as quarterback in the Falcons. They're trying to rebuild the thing. They do have skilled people at wide receiver. Kyle Pitts is a great football player, kind of a combo hybrid tight end wide receiver. Just don't think that Atlanta's got enough. They've had a lot of injury problems on defense. In fact, they're opening the season without their star linebacker, Deion Jones, who has not fully recovered from last year's knee injury, and he started the season on IR. It'll be intriguing to watch how long they can stay with Mariota. His history, and Marcus is a good guy, played at Oregon, went to Tennessee, was supposed to be the future in Tennessee, just couldn't stay on the field, kept getting hurt. Can make plays, can run around, but he gets hurt. It'll be interesting to see if the first rookie quarterback to come off the bench this year is going to be Desmond Ridder. He's the kid from the University of Cincinnati, John. We've talked about him before. He had a real good preseason. He played a lot of games, took a lot of snaps in preseason, didn't panic, didn't turn it over. He's got an easygoing persona. And he did the same thing at University of Cincinnati. They'd step outside that conference and they play big-time teams. He didn't fall apart. So that's the one that bears watching. Ridder might wind up being the starting quarterback before we go too deep into the season if Mariota struggles, or if it's typical Mariota, he gets hurt. But it's Tom terrific in Tampa, and everybody else is chasing the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, Tom Brady's world. It's Tom Brady's division. But it's interesting that you bring up some of those names: Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston. I mean, they played in the Rose Bowl against each other, like, what was it, 7 or 8 years ago for NCAA, was it a semifinal for the BCS? So it's kind of nice to see those names appearing in the division. They're still playing ball, but yeah, it's Tom Brady's world, no doubt about it.